drain. The globe is not the same.
I heard a voice repeating, and this is what it said. Scrap iron, hold battery by it. Scrap iron, hold battery by it. The people living next door, hold back their curtain. Bring out the rusty old saw to get the bargain. Scrap iron, hold battery by it. Scrap iron, hold battery by it.
Welcome to another episode of Scrap News by the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association. This week, our Scrap News has a different focus as we are going to share with you some good news for the local industry. I'm Moletta Wilson. Thank you for joining us. The Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association recently attended a meeting with the Minister of Trade and Industry, the Honorable Paula Gopi-Schoon. At that meeting, the association presented its plan for a mega project which it believes will significantly impact the economy of Trinidad and Tobago by bringing in much needed foreign exchange and providing employment. Today we will share this presentation with you. Here is TTC's representative, Anthony Rampasad.
Shipbreaking has a very bright future. Shipbreaking is the cutting up of ships for gain, whether it be monetary gain or green credits. This is our site proposal, our site plan. And here you can see fragmentized bits, heaps of material. We see a ship in port, and what happens in shipbreaking? The ship is cut using hydraulic shears. It's fed, that cut piece is fed into a shredder, and then we get that fragmentized bit heap. Now, the heaps are very valuable to us in that is where the heaps of fragmentized metal, that is where the value lies. This is just another view of our port. You can see clearly the gantry cranes, and here we can see it's a two-port proposed operation. So simultaneous cutting operations or breaking can occur simultaneously. The executive summary. The shipbreaking industry was analyzed. Marine, shoreline, and land equipment was looked at both locally and internationally to determine the best way forward to set up a shipbreaking facility using some of the most advanced technology in the shipbreaking industry. The study looked at different forms of shipbreaking in different lands as far as Turkey, England, and the United States, among others, where the methods employed ranges from labor-intensive to the use of high technology. It was found that the use of technology quickened the time to scrap ships, thus making this industry a very lucrative one. In addition, it was found that there was no shipbreaking industry in Trinidad and Tobago, the immediate Caribbean, and on this side of the equatorial belt. The recommendation to government, to viewers, to investors, is to support, allow TTC lands, funds, and permission through its agencies to operate a shipbreaking facility in Trinidad and Tobago, using innovative technology to fast-track shipbreaking, and yet be competitive on the world market. This project will rid the sea of unwanted derelicts and other waste at no cost to the government, and is pivotal to a sustainable environment. In addition, an inherent feature is job creation and giving back to the various communities. The support of this project would mean foreign exchange flowing into the Trinidad and Tobago's economy on a monthly basis and way into the foreseeable future. This is set to become one of the largest facility and project of its kind in the region. Why this project? This shipbreaking facility is the brainchild of Mr. Alan Ferguson. He and his members have studied the industry and is presently hosting similar type scaled-back operations in a safe and efficient manner. Scale-back in terms of, yes, we have yards, so we test the mega project first by safe operations in our yards. This mega project is very unique in that the very nature lends itself rapid yield. Rapid yield in terms of the fragmentized bits, which has the value and the associated rapid turnover, that is the monetary aspect through sales. Materials harvested from ships such as steel, aluminum and copper will be processed and sold to foreign markets, thereby earning valuable foreign exchange for TNT. This venture will positively impact the foreign exchange reserves, bolster the GDP, and create jobs, 1,000 jobs immediately in the startup phase. With the current issue of climate change and global warming caused by landfills and toxic gases, among others, this project proposes an end to the immediate contributors by cleaning the sea, its seabed, and the marine environment. More on why. This project will enhance all areas of sustainability, namely social, environmental, and lend to positive economics. Social, people, environmental, planet. And of course, this means a positive turn for Trinidad and Tobago. Some statistics from the Central Statistical Office says that scrap metal exports escalated from approximately 69 million in 2009 to an estimated 216 million in 2018, registering an increase of over 213% over a 10-year period. TTCDA played an instrumental role in these statistical figures. Why? This project will clean up the coastal waters of Trinidad and Tobago at no cost to the government. Another point, there will be a trade-off of further export knowledge from willing foreigners into Trinidad and Tobago. Our affiliates come from Russia, England, America, Turkey, India, and China, amongst a host of others. This will mean an exchange in technology. We will gain. It will certainly clear the waterways and mitigate the associated pollution. Some history and background. Mr. Ferguson has prior experience in shipbreaking. He owned and operated a shipyard in Carenage, in which the members were involved. So he trained his people. So TTCDA could stand safely, firmly on his footing to say, we want this mega project. TTCDA has received an endorsement from the Ministry of Trade and Industry. They said, we play a part, we play an instrumental role in the development and expansion of the local scrap iron industry. We have more facts, but in 2019, TTCDA was the onlyest non-profit organization in the scrap industry from the Caribbean, which was present at the World Recycling Convention at Singapore. At this convention, we were asked to be leaders in the region due to our wealth of knowledge in this business. TTCDA have undertaken recovery works of sunken vessels and the cutting down of large ships regionally. In addition, TTCDA have garnered years of experience in demolition works, locally and regionally, through its broad-based members, all of which utilize up-to-date and proven technology. We have available ready suppliers. So persons and organizations are ready to buy, and vendors on the same note in terms of recyclable materials and doing business. So we have already met with the EMA, the Environmental Management Authority, the Maritime Services Division, and the Institute of Marine Affairs all gave the assurance that they will work with us to accomplish this project. The foreign investment body, InvestTT, sees TTC as one of the 7 pillars of strategic growth for Trinidad and Tobago. Some clips from our methodology. Real estate waterfront that we seek shall be made safe of all objects that present hazards in order to allow the anchoring of vessels safely. Equipment will be on site in proper working order and pre-inspected, namely crane barge, cargo barges, tugs, oil spill containment equipment, complete with its boom, its outriggers and dispersant, winching and marine wheelway systems, telehandlers, excavators, lift trucks, cranes, both fixed and mobile, excavators, our shredder. We have as well trucks, complete cutting sets, industrial scales. With using these equipment, we consider the focus. On startup, we focus on land and shoreline operations. Once the vessel is docked, towed or winch close to land or onto land, checks are made to ensure safety and the vessel is cleared of all liquids, chemicals and hazardous substances in a safe manner using the EMA guidelines and international standards. All lines are removed that conducts oil and other chemicals in order to prevent fire when cutting begins. Next, the extraction of furniture and artifacts occurs. Thereafter, the cutting up of the ship takes place into large sections. These large sections are reduced through shearing and fed to a shredder for a factory-ready output. Bulk shipment of the scrap will occur. These works shall take place according to a site risk assessment. On the other phases, or the ongoing phases after the phase 1, we shall have recovery of sunken vessels and salvage. After the waypoint has been located, a crane barge will be appropriately moored close to and downwind of the subsea wreck. A diver or robotic camera system is sent in to survey the wreck and bed. Slush is to be pumped out via the watering pumps in an attempt to refloat. If there is no refloat, subsea sectional cutting and lifting will begin. During the process, safety checks are to be made to the water to check for pollution. Once there is no pollution, cutting in sections can begin via torch or chain system. During cutting, the crane shall hold steady the wreck at key points to enable stability and the safe lifting thereafter of the cut section. The section will be placed onto a barge for transiting to shore, where it can be shredded up and made into that valuable fragmentized bit. The bits will end to heaps. The above process will take place in a safe manner, giving consideration to any unusual tides and inclement weather. These will be done in accordance to a risk assessment and mitigation strategy. Should any of the automated or technological equipment fail, shipbreaking will continue on land and sea via the torch, cutting or manual system in order to maintain a minimum level of production between 25,000 tons to 30,000 tons per month. Remember, initially the focus will be on cutting floating vessels only. We now have a video of the hydraulic shear. now have a video of the shredding process. You can see our shredder.
Shredder in the world, and it faces a world-class challenge. A giant freighter powers towards the docks, but it can't stay long. This ship must leave in 72 hours, complete with 27,500 tons of top-quality metal splinters created by the shredder. Reducing the payload fast enough will push this industrial giant to its limits. A 560-ton giant of heavy industry, a shredder smashes 350 tons of metal to pulp every hour. The power from this industrial
we call it fragmentizing. It's actually what they call a fragmentizer. So what happens, you've got a big hammer spinning round on a thing, and you've got a load of grids then. So the scrap goes into the middle, the hammers come round, smash it, and eventually force it to a set of grids. And once they fall out the grids, it's actually the material separate out.
We have our key personnel, one of which is the President, Mr. Alan Ferguson. He has been in business for over 25 years. He's trained in the art of marine and deep water salvaging, using proven technology and often contracted by both government and private sector alike. We have our Vice President, Mr. Eros Sijatan. We have our Health, Safety, Security, Environment and Quality Director, Ms. Amanda Harilal. We have our Operations Manager, Mr. Michael Reyes. We have our Civil and Mechanical Engineer, Mr. Ronald Ayong. We have endemic to the mega project, our project organizational chart. Our strengths are a strong knowledge base captured in diverse membership, access to foreign markets, both buying and selling, existing contracts with foreign purchasers. We are experienced in the shipbreaking business. We are experienced in shipping bulk and containerized materials. We have key industry stakeholders which have already met with us from Turkey, India, China, Russia, England, and America in relation to this project. All have indicated to us they are more than ready to give the necessary global industry support. Many offers by firms to break vessels both locally and internationally. High demand for precious metals, so now is the time for us to move with this mega project. So high demand for precious metals right now. A good time for us to move into this mega project. Many offers to finance this shipbreaking project. Opportunity to lend ourselves to combat climate change and global warming. A golden opportunity to allow the much needed inflows of foreign exchange. Another golden opportunity for strategic growth as a country and nation to position ourselves in the minds of global leaders. In this time of a terrible pandemic. Needs. What we need is for the government and its ministries to work with us. We need tax exemption. For how long? 5 years. Why we say so? We will be bringing in equipment from overseas. What we need? Acreage with ready infrastructure, and we have some suggestions. Port at the old ArcelorMittal plant, Point Lisas, or left of the Labitco port at Labray. Health, safety, security, and environment. We have already put together a specialized team of HSSEQ personnel that have already drawn up policies and procedures, such as job safety analyses, risk assessments, mitigating adverse effects on life and natural habitats. We'll be operating in such a manner to avoid pollution to the seas. We'll be working within all governmental guidelines and framework. The regulating bodies are the Maritime Services Division, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, the Environmental Management Authority. Some of our monitoring and control procedures are our Safe to Work policy, our HSE policy statement, HSE management facilities, risk assessments, equipment control procedure, disciplinary action matrix, contractor management procedure. SSE store and plea, environmental aspects and impact register, and we are guided by the OSHA's risk hazard matrix. We want to be in the green zone at all times, sometimes in yellow, but mainly in the green zone. We have our risk management plan put in place. Here we mitigate risk, we accept risk, we transfer risk, and also avoid certain types of risk. Our financial input for startup is 30 million. 30 million. So to recap, this mega project, our ship-breaking project, will save the environment, will immediately create jobs, will bring in the much-needed foreign exchange, will encourage recycling. At what cost? All of these will be at no financial cost to the government. Thank you.
We take a short break, and when we return, we'll hear from our Vice President, Iwer Sijetan. Welcome back to Scrap News from the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association. We now hear what our Vice President, Mr. Iwer Sijetan, had to say following the meeting with the Minister of Trade.
Looking at this project, first of all, I was very impressed. And to me, it is a project that is IMF worthy for economy as ours. If we need it, if ever we needed something like this, not just the scrap industry, but the country as a whole, with taking into consideration our economic status. A project like this would make any mouth water, because it is indeed needed. You know, and I fully endorse it, and I hope that our leader, Mr. Ferguson's dream of putting this project together comes true, because it will benefit not just us, not just nationally, not just regionally, but I think it will have international bearings. It is needed because I'll give you three points. First of all, our industry is based on industrial waste. Industrial waste in this country right now is not being generated because all the industries are down. There's hardly any waste being generated. This project taking our business to the sea is like the final frontier. Us going there now is going to present us with a certain amount of sustainability for a certain amount of years into the future. We are going to be able to provide employment to a vast amount of people, right? So this is a very major project. Second of all, utilization of resources that was left to become derelict. Mainly, we had a thriving energy sector that has reached the point of almost being dead. There are a lot of resources, there are a lot of people with big equipments that's just sitting there doing nothing. This is the perfect opportunity to utilize all these resources and put it to work. Thirdly, influx of foreign exchange, desperately needed, to the point that even our groceries are being affected, how we eat and how we survive. Very soon, if there's no foreign exchange coming in, everything is going to be affected. Our way of life, everything is going to be affected. You got to remember that a few years ago, when we were getting foreign exchange from fuel, we are now using foreign exchange at a rate of around 20 million US a month to purchase fuel. This is putting a strain on our reserves. We need to have an industry bringing in foreign exchange. Remember, the last year has seen us live, and life has changed so drastically that some people don't even realize what it is now. I mean, when people were working, when everybody was employed and everybody was working, the roads were busy, the malls were busy, everything was busy. We don't see that anymore. I mean, on a regular day, you would drive and there would hardly be any traffic because there's no school, children at home. We are all looking to start back our lives. The world as we know it has changed, so has especially the economy. This project is going to give us a new start. A lot of people is going to find new jobs. Okay, let's take into consideration that our major employer in this country is the government. We have 20,000 children coming out of school each year with basically nowhere to go. We are basically, by this project and project like these, we are giving our children the right to dream again, like we all did when we were young. We all dreamt about working for the government and going to Petrotrain or going to one of these big companies. This is no longer there. This is no longer there. This is going to enhance the future, not just for us, but for our children and generations to come. We need local support on this. Local investors. Now, we have been offered foreign support, but we don't want to go 100% foreign support, because this would mean that our foreign exchange would go to our foreign investors. Are we trying to eliminate this? So we basically are asking the government, the financial companies, the big investors, invest in us. Invest in us, look at our proposal, look at what we propose to do, and look at the magnitude of this project, and come support us. Let us keep our foreign exchange here.
Meanwhile, Robert O'Neill endorsed this new project by the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association. He issued a call on the government and the private sector to support this initiative.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Robert O'Neill, and I'm closely associated with the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Dealers Association. This association is embarking on a project very shortly that should bring into the country very good national revenue, very excellent opportunities for employment and sustainability among the ranks of the lesser ones, especially. Right? We are also appealing to the private sector to get involved to help with the augmentation and execution of some of the details of the project. We see a lot of great potential for this project in terms of also foreign exchange being generated and sustainability at this time of the economic crisis. Once again, we are appealing to the private sector especially to get involved to help with this project. Thank you very much for your time.
Welcome back to Scrap News. Davidson Stafford says the scrap iron industry has been very beneficial to him. He gave up his job in the construction sector to work in the scrap iron industry. Stafford notes that this is a lucrative industry.
My name is Davidson Stafford. I am a citizen of this area, Kelly Village. I live here all my life, right? I was in the construction industry all my life. I started in this business by getting a job from Alan Ferguson to build this place. And when I done build this place, it was so satisfying to him, so he asked me if I could stay on and be a part of the business with him. So I decided to leave out construction because, you know, the rustle in construction, it wasn't physical for me, and then, you know, age is a different factor. So I started working here because I have a lot of experience in working people. So I control the yard for him and getting men to work and employees to do things in the yard. So I even bring over some of my workers from construction into the scrap business. So I decided to stay here and work, and it is such a blessing for me. It's such a new idea, new avenue. Everything open up in a different way. So I get to like it. And I see the benefit in it for people my age. You can't be unemployable at my age. With scrap, you could be employed until you can't go no more. So it has no resign factor in scrap. You could pick up scrap any age, from a baby to any age you want. So that is why I come in this, and I get to like it. And now that I hear that we here every day, I do a little bit of everything. And so it's so important to me now that I could get a little employment here, I could get a little salary here. So I ask in the state and whatsoever involved to come into this and see how much we could help people. Is a big form of employment for everybody. So if the state could get involved and see how much we could increase employment without any cost, without investing in anything, because the scrap is there. It's just to hand up the scrap. The hardest thing now is to hand up the scrap, because the state have millions of tons of scrap all about. People have millions of scrap all about. So it's just to hand it up, and everybody will eat a food from it. Not to say that you will hand it up and no matter what you have, you could just give it up and you will get money with it. And we will get something, and the country will benefit. We will get foreign exchange, we will get employment. We could even try to take down the crime rate and the less thieving and whatsoever. So I would say it's a good venture. It's a good investment for anybody to come in. If you hire scrap dormant for years, I know people have scrap dormant for years. If you try and give it, just call we, and you will get something from it, and the business will, and foreign exchange will come in. The industry right now is suffering from lacking of material. But not to say the country ain't have material. The country have the material. So this industry endorsing on a drive to collect all the derelict thing all about, all the derelict ship, all the derelict tank in Point of Pay, all the derelict, anyway it's a derelict iron. This company is endorsing we might say a venture to retrieve all these scrap. So we would like if the state or anybody who involved and who have authority over the scrap to come in with us and work with us to get these things going to benefit the country and benefit everybody, and for people to gain employment, because it will employ thousands of people, right? So to the state could come in and help us, and we will help people on the street to come in and get employment. As I say, it has no investment in it. The investment is there with the scrap. That is all we need, the scrap. So if the state will come in and join with us and help us to move forward with the venture we own, it will be beneficial to everybody.
From Belmont to Claxton Bay, so let me hear you say, Rapayan, Obachi Baye. Rapayan, Obachi Baye.
And finally, our president, Mr. Alan Ferguson, also gave his input into this initiative. He is appealing to the government to work alongside the association with this project. Mr. Ferguson also notes the benefits, saying that this is one of a kind for Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean region. Mr. Ferguson explains that it is the intention of the association to clean the seas just as it has been cleaning rivers and other areas of Trinidad and Tobago. He adds that this project will not add any strain to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. According to the president, the association is aiming to keep the foreign revenue in the country. As a result, he announced that the project is open to local investors. He says 35% stake in this project will be available to these local investors. And that was this week's episode of TTC The Scrap News. As always, if you want to be updated on the latest developments in the local and international scrap iron industry, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for being here with us. This is Willetta Wilson. See you next time.
You get up one morning, your elders have something, you don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people, to get the thing what they went through, ask them this any day, and them elders sure to say, black man got to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to work 10 times harder to get something because of your color. Black man got to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People rob you, humiliate you, turn around and whip you, and then they free you. Black man got to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something, with a 4-5 friends, look your back in, because you don't know already. Black man don't get nothing easy. You get up one morning, and oil money running. How it come you don't know. You don't care how the thing go. But if you read about Uriah, you go find out about the pressure. How they get so much whole hell. Get a penny from TLL. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money. Pay people for your own refinery. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get your little something with a dragon and you keep marking, because I don't tell you already, black man don't get nothing easy. You get up one morning, independence happening. You think the thing come easy, you start taking liberty. But if you know about petition, we had to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in London to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. If they enslave you, and then they whip you, turn wrong and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With a dragon and you keep marking. Because you don't know this already. Black man don't get freedom easy. So when a black man have something, you got to start thinking. You get it easy. You got to practice economy. From getting licks from the slave master to become the landowner is a terrible journey. Black with plenty brutality. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, you must make up your mind that you're able to get a money and jam with the devil. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something, you got to make up your mind that you're ready to swim on shore and rock your boat steady. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With a hawk, you better keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. You got to put up a parent in England to get independent in your own land. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a bully and fight down the devil. Black man got to keep on jamming. For black man to get a little something. People rob you, humiliate you, turn wrong and leave you, wrong and lash you. Black man got to keep on jamming.
Belmont jukebox and bass, so let me hear you say. Rapayan, oh battery baye. Rapayan, oh battery baye. Rapayan, oh battery baye. It's Christmas. Rapayan, oh battery baye. Break the one. Oh my gosh! Oh battery baye. Rapayan, oh battery baye. Rapayan, oh battery baye. It's Christmas. Rapayan, oh battery baye. Break the one. Oh my gosh! I thought it was a parang bara here.
Touch me, girl, you're about when them friends touch me. Can't believe until I them get touch me. When them girl get a taste, them coulda swear battery sponsor me all night. Some girl get weak in the knees, my flavor right feel so sweet all night. Oh, my kind of style she like. She say my kind of style so sweet. Oh, my kind of vibe she like.
Pace you like when I ride it. Bend, but I never break.